Another year of Quinnipiac athletics has come and gone, and we have all the latest on the women's tennis and acro and tumbling teams as they play through the postseason.
On top of that, a lot of Bobcats have received major accolades, and of course, softball and baseball are still in full swing with their MAC tournament soon approaching. All this information and more, Sports Paws, for the last time this semester, starts right now.
Welcome back one last time to Studio 125. I'm Dylan Summer. Alongside me is Kylesia Smith. And Kai, now we get a turn to take over after executive producing this show for a whole year.
Absolutely. Yes, Dylan. It's been a great ride, but unfortunately, we are at the end of our time together as EPs this year. But before we get sad and soppy, we got some major news to get into. Ready to get the show on the road?
Sure am.
Absolutely. Kicking it off with women's tennis after a 2-0 MAC sweep, it is now time to talk Ncaa Tournament. But before we get there, we have to talk Ncaa election show. Today was that day for the Bobcats. Eric Kerr and Connor Core were on the scene here, and they give you the details.
Well, it's no secret that this team, Quinnipiac right here, the women's tennis program, is heading back to the Ncaa Tournament for the 6th time in program history. My name is Eric Kerr alongside Connor Core, and we are just outside where the Ncaa selection show is supposed to be, or the watch party that is for this women's tennis team. And Connor, simply put, not a lot of players really get to live through this moment in their athletic college career.
Yeah, we got the chance to talk to four-time MAC Coach of the Year, Paula Miller, and a few of the players to get their emotions heading into the tournament. As like you said, they didn't really get the opportunity to in the past.
It's been great. I mean, we haven't gone since 2018. You know, we had a tough loss that year, and then COVID hit. And then last year, you know, COVID hit a couple of our players again. So in the we made the final. So it's great to be back since it's been a while.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's going to be such a great experience, whatever happens. So we'll see.
All right, so you've heard their excitement before. Now it's time to reveal the big news on who they'll be playing in the first round.
Congratulations to the Duke Blue Devils. Quinnipiac, the
We're just really excited to go, you know. The Max was a big tournament for us, and we get along so great, so we're just excited.
Oh, I'm so happy. I went to school in South Carolina, so getting to Carolinas, I'm just like pumped to go back there. Yeah, I mean, I had the most amazing experience at Wofford, but getting to even have this 5th year has been a fairy tale for me, and then getting to win my conference and go to the NCAAs has been more of a fairy tale. Well, it was amazing. We're all locking arms and sitting close knit with each other, and we wanted to go somewhere south, and it was just an awesome experience. We're all jumping up, and you can still hear them over there. We're all pumped to really go over there.
So, you know, losing to Fairfield during the regular season and breaking our regular season record kind of put fire under us, and, you know, I think in a way it was a good thing for us. You know, we told them afterwards we're not going to lose to them again or to anyone else. So, you know, I think that helped us.
The conditions were very different during the regular season for us. It was a Wednesday. We were tired, and just kind of like we have a little rivalry going. So going into the MAC championship, we knew that we weren't losing.
I think we deserve this. We've had a really good season and worked really hard, and I'm really excited to end off my journey in this season with this team.
All right, well, there you have it. There's the reveal. Best of luck to the Bobcats in the tournament coming up. Guys, we'll send it back to you over at the desk.
Thank you, Eric and Connor. That's right. Quinnipiac heard their names called, and the field of 64 is set. The Bobcats will play 3-seeded Duke at their home courts in Durham, North Carolina. The winner of that match will face either Furman or Old Dominion.
Taking a closer look at Quinnipiac's upcoming match, they have been handed a tough first round against the number 3 seed Duke. The Blue Devils have only lost 3 matchups all season, boasting an 11-2 record in the ACC, and the Bobcats will have to travel to Durham to play on May 6th and 7th. And tennis isn't the only team that Quinnipiac in the Ncaa tournament. Women's golf will fly down to Tallahassee, Florida next week to compete in the 2022 regional round. After defending their MAC championship title last weekend, Coach John O'Connor's squad is hungry for more. Juniors Leanne Peralta and Kaylee Sakota have stepped up big for the team, helping the Bobcats land as the 12th seed in the region. They'll also be joined by Florida State, South Carolina, and UCLA, among others. The top 6 teams that advance will then make the trip to Scottsdale, Arizona for the NCAA championship.
Keeping the tournament train going, acrobatics and tumbling flew out to West Eugene, Oregon to compete in the NCAA National Championships. The Bobcats faced the Oregon Ducks in the quarterfinals, which resulted in a Quinnipiac victory of 270.34 over Oregon's 264.485. QU started strong, setting some season records, posting a 9.625 in the compulsory acro heat, a 9.825 in 7-element acro, and a 9.75 in the toss event, as well as the trio tumbling pass and the inversion and sink heats of the pyramid event. The program set new season highs for the program and in turn advanced to the semifinals against Baylor. And that, unfortunately, the semifinals is as far as the Bobcats will get as a team in the Matthew Knight Arena, as they got defeated by the number 1 seeded Baylor Bears, 269.160 to their 273.600. It was a tough battle, and through it, fifth-year Cassidy Osher outscored Baylor in the 6-element solo pass, scoring a 9.800 in the final team meet of her career. But it would not be enough. They may not taken the team award, but the Bobcats were afforded individual opportunities.
That's right. The Bobcats defeated the Hawaii Pacific in the quad pass event to earn the national title. The group of Tiffany Ziba, Layla Tracy, Lindsay Rudolph, and Summer Noel posted a mark of 8.775 in the individual event. That mark proved to be the highest of the day. And in addition to that, the Bobcats came close to winning the 450 salto and duo pass events as they placed second in each. A trio Bobcats also earned 2022 year-end honors at the Ncaa. Graduate student Cassidy Osher and senior Asia Johnson were named as Ncaa All-Americans, both acknowledged for their strong performances on the mat and leadership roles. Meanwhile, senior Kyla Roberts was also named to the Ncaa All-Academic team. Roberts is one of 3 student athletes that was accepted to the Quinnipiac's entry-level master's position assistant program, and an invested member of the athletic department's volunteer organization. The acro and tumbling season might be over, but beat reporter Ben Kane spoke with the team about the strides made over the year.
It's not often you hear the words, a full league of female head coaches, especially in a women's league. However, with an emerging collegiate sport such as acrobatics and tumbling, this is slowly becoming the new norm.
You know, this is a sport that, you know, has evolved over the years. So many females before us have just come through and put in so much work and so much heart. This program and all of the programs here competing at this championship would not exist if it wasn't for the work put in for us.
One of those pioneers for the sport is Bobcats head coach Marianne Powers. With Powers not traveling with the team, the reins were left to current assistant coach Cameron Diaz, who was very comfortable taking over, knowing the lessons Powers had taught her were a contributing factor to the Bobcats' win over Oregon.
Marianne Powers is the backbone of Quinnipiac acrobatics and tumbling. She is now, and she has been for many, many years. So we would absolutely not be here today if it wasn't for all of her hard work and all of the passion and everything she puts into us as staff and also our student athletes. So she's been behind us every single step of the way, FaceTime calls in the locker room, and, you know, she's constantly checking in. She's fighting her own battle, but, you know, we're fighting this one for her.
Now, it wasn't too long ago that Diaz was on the other side of the mats competing for Powers, but being given a role in this coaching staff is just the beginning of what Diaz hopes is a long career in the sport.
But I just feel like I'm able to contribute a little bit more. I love sharing my knowledge, and I love making that connection. So it's exciting. It's exciting on this side of the mat. It's a little bit more stressful, I would say. But yeah, it's something that I hope to continue to do for many years. And I'm really, really grateful that Quinnipiac and Marianne, you know, gave me the opportunity to be here. And I wouldn't want to, you know, be at my first national championships with any other program, any other team, or any other staff.
With the Bobcats advancing past Oregon, Diaz and her squad will look to make Powers proud as they continue their hunt for a national championship. From Q30 Sports, I'm Ben.
It is time for our first commercial break of the night, but when we come back, it's time to discuss all the baseball and softball MAC action.
Plus, men's lacrosse wrapped up the season, but before we go, it's time for the first Bobcat Choice Award. You voted on Twitter all week long, and the results are in. The Player of the Year is men's ice hockey first year Yanni Peretz. 2 more categories coming your way after the break.
Meet The Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life, but how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have prediabetes, a serious medical condition that puts you at high risk for type 2 diabetes. 1 in 3 American adults has prediabetes, but more than 80% don't know they have it. The good news is, prediabetes can be reversed, and for many people, healthy changes in their daily routine can make a big difference. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to Sports Paws. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll head straight to the diamond as the Quinnipiac baseball team faced off against the Bryant Bulldogs last Wednesday afternoon. The Bobcats are looking for their first win against Bryant in 11 years. And a little pre-game hype up from the team shaking each other's hands. And it was Matt DeLuca on the mound this past Wednesday looking for that win. And we're going to get right into it, into the bottom of the second. Andrew McDermott is at the plate. And this pitch is going to be outside for ball 4, which will bring in Ian Osberg home for the second time of the game, making it 2-0 Bobcats. Then right after, it's McGuire Tuffy who's going to ground this into the field. It's going to be a fielder's choice as Michael Cohn will then advance home, making it 3-0 QU. Top of the third now, Bryant would try to answer back right here, and they do as Jake Gustin brings home Matt Smith to bring the Bulldogs within 3, making it 4-1 QU. Now we go 7 innings ahead, bottom of the 10th, and it's Jared Zimbardo at the plate, tied at 4. This is going to be a base hit. McGuire Tuffy makes the run for home, and he will get there, making a walk-off miracle happen in Connecticut, and the team celebrates with a 5-4 victory. Just like that, Jared Zimbardo, the hero, once more.
I'm here for the celebration. Period. Baseball also matched up with Manhattan for a weekend series, and the game went a little like this. The Bobcats are getting set for a pivotal series against the Jaspers. Delaney gave the nod to Brandon Garcia for Game 1, and here we are getting things going in the bottom of the first. You have Danny Melnick, more like Danny Dimes, after this big fly to left field. Gives the Bobcats an early 1 lead. QU going far, can't even see it anymore, over the fence. And here he comes across, making his way to home plate. Now, going on to top of the 4th, Garcia was in cruise control to the first 3 innings, but threw a wild pitch past Melnick, brings home Frankie Marinelli, and gives Manhattan the lead to 2-1. Now we're moving on to the bottom of the 5th. Quinnipiac is now down 5-2 until Jared Zimbardo hits this 3-run homer to ignite a 4-run running for the Bobcats. And now the game is tied, and we are tied at 5-5, moving over to the final bottom of the 9th. Quinnipiac with 9-7 lead and are 1 out away from the victory as Gabe Romano gets Jacob Radzewitz to ground it out, and the Bobcats take Game 1, 9-7. QU wins, and we have the walkout here. The Bobcats take the victory against Manhattan. The winning train would continue for the Bobcats in Game 2, scoring 11 runs over 1 against Manhattan. With the help of a few homers from Jared Zimbardo, Ian Osberg, and Michael Cohn, in the late innings of the game, they were able to take the sweep for Day 2, but that train shifted in the Game 3 as the Jaspers would end up coming back for redemption, scoring the same 11 runs the Bobcats did just the day before against QU's 8. Quinnipiac would take 2 out of the 3 games of the weekend. Now with the games of the weekend over, let's take a look where the Bobcats stand in the MAC standings. As it stands, the Bobcats remain in the 8th slot with a conference record of 6 and a 9 and an overall record of 13 and 25. They follow behind board leaders Fairfield, Canisius, Marist, Ryder, and Monmouth at top 5, and Niagara, Manhattan fall in between there. There's still time to climb. Can they do it? Only time will tell.
Like we said, baseball wasn't the only sport to see MAC action over the weekend. Softball competed on Saturday in a doubleheader against the Marist Red Foxes. The Bobcats would take Game 1 in walk-off fashion as they scored 4 runs at the bottom of the 7th inning, giving them a 5-4 victory. First-year infielder Brooke Hilliard had a clutch triple that brought home 2 runs to set up the 2-out rally. Then it was junior Lala Pasquale who finished the job as she drove home the winning run from first. However, it was a completely different story for the Bobcats in Game 2 as they were blown out 13-5. They would only be able to play 5 innings as this would go into a mercy rule. Marist had on 7 runs in the top of the 4th inning, and the Bobcats split yet another home doubleheader. Softball team would have a quick turnaround as they traveled to New Rochelle, New York to face the Iona Gales on Sunday. The Gales won the defensive standoff in Game 1 with a score of 4-1. Iona freshman Maddie Lowry only allowed 5 hits and 1 run on the day. The lone run came from Lala Pasquale on the double to center field. Similarly to Game 1, the Bobcats could not get anything going on the offensive side, this time being a shutout by the Gales after an early 2 runs put up by Iona. Quinnipiac had no answers and would fall victim to the sweep on the road. With another week of softball behind us, Canisius still remains as the top team in the MAC with a 14-4 conference record. Fairfield is close behind Canisius with an 11-5 conference record. As for Quinnipiac, they stand in 9th place in the conference with a 12-25 overall record and a 5-11 conference record. And with the softball season concluding and the MAC playoffs around the corner, softball analyst Lo Yarnell has her predictions on what teams will make it to the MAC tournament.
If it's the final sports pause, that means it's time for my final MAC softball rankings. Now, I went through the remainder of the schedule. I crunched all the numbers, and here is how I think the regular season is going to shake down. Tied for first place, I have Canisius and Iona. In third place, Fairfield. Tied for 4th, Siena and Ryder. I know I originally had Ryder much higher earlier this year. Had a little bit of a rough go in the regular season, but I think they're going to find their footing just fine and end up there. Tied for 4th, and then rounding out the bottom, of course, Manhattan, Marist, and Niagara barely making the cut. Those bottom 3 teams at the bottom, I don't think we're going to see them in the tournament. So moving on to the MAC tournament bracket. I went ahead and I made one for you. You're welcome. We've got the 1-8, 3-6, 2-7, 4-5 matchups, standard industry practice. Here's who I think is going to be in your final 4. I've got the number 1 seed Canisius against number 3 seed Fairfield. I think both of those teams are going to be able to get out of their first round matchups. The game I want to point out to you, you see that number 7? That's right, I think Marist is going to pull off the upset over number 2 Iona. This Marist team has won the MAC before. They have seniors on their team that are hungry and they know how to win. I think they're gonna have all the right tools in the right place to be able to pull off the big upset against Iona, who is known for not pulling out of those big moments. And of course, Ryder is going to be there. But out of those 4 teams, I think the championship game speaks for itself. It's gonna be Canisius and Ryder. These 2 teams are the statistical leaders in the MAC, both hitting and pitching. This is the matchup I'm the most excited for, but who do I think is going to come out on top? Could have been anybody's guess, but I'm going to go with Canisius. They are the best team in the MAC right now. I think that's not going to change. They have been steamrolling the regular season so far. Megan Geis is the best pitcher in the MAC. She's got the lowest ERA in conference across the league. I think this one's going to be a no-brainer. Canisius is going to finally get that MAC championship that they have been so close to in years past. But that's all I've got for MAC softball and for my last time on Sports Pause. Back to you guys on the desk.
Thanks, Lo. Now moving over to the lacrosse field. For the women's, their season ended last week, but that did not end the conference awards. Junior Cat Hensler was named to the All-MAC second team, and the first year, Ella Grace Delman was named to the All-MAC rookie team selection. Delman became the sixth Bobcat since 2019 to earn this MAC All-Rookie honors. Quinnipiac also landed 20 players on the 2022 All-Academic list for their second straight season. Great job, Bobcats. Now with that, we are going to take our one last commercial break of the night, but do not go anywhere because when we come back, we're taking things to the track.
And before we go, we have the results for the second Bobcat Choice Award of the night for the 2021-2022 Team of the Year. And you guys selected the men's ice hockey team. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this. You will find something.
You will find something new.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/therightseat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Hey, welcome back into Sports Paws. Jack Main. I'm not Dylan Ncaa, but I could not graduate without doing one more and final installment of Jacked in the Fool. Part 3. You guys remember in Part 2 I said nobody was safe. Same thing goes right here in the finale. Let's go ahead and see what we got for Spring Sports Edition. Quinnipiac and Maine. Kelby Drews, high fly ball deep to left. That's going to get down. 2 runs are going to score pretty routinely here, but take a look at the relay. Kayla Thomas can't handle it. It goes to the backstop, and then she just completely DCs from the game. What do? Do you pick up the glove? Do you pick up the ball? She just decides to not pick up the ball. You're a D1 athlete. I don't care that you don't catch. You need to know that the ball is live at all times until the umpire goes, time. Oh, what an embarrassing play for Kayla Thomas. Just need more hustle out of her right there. We're heading over to the lacrosse field for play number 3. Cassidy Orban putting the moves on the right side of your screen right here. Oh my God. Sophie Spencer no longer has ankles, and you can see why. You can go collect her ankles on the lacrosse field. Some still say that that is still right there. Monmouth victory over Quinnipiac. We head over to the diamond for play number 2. Jared Zimbarno, high fly ball deep right. Derek Smith, oh. Unfortunately, Derek Smith falls victim to Quinnipiac's middle school field on the Mount Carmel campus. That allows Zimbardo to motor into third base. He knows all about the struggles with that hill out there in right and center field. Derek Smith just unfortunately the unlucky bounce right there. Play number 1, we got to listen to it, so let's hang on.
Kelly's not having a great day. It looks like Rose is on pace to beat that mark. Oh, man! Anything you can do, I can do better. Wow!
Eric Kerr really whipped out the Annie lyrics for a St. Bonaventure's goal. EK, you had your singing moments on Breakdown, and thank God you're a good broadcaster because you do not have a second career in show business. That's all I got for Jacked in the Fool Part 3. Kai and Dylan, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you for the laughs, Jack, but we'll take it from here. Welcome back to Studio 125.
Jack might have the record for making people laugh, but he's not the only one getting records. The track and field team broke yet another school record, this time at the 4-person 100-meter relay at the 126th running of the Penn Relays. The team of Simone Foster, Caliana Botello, Brittany Del Mundo, and Aisha Gay recorded a time of 46.53. This broke the previous record by 0.28 seconds. The Bobcats ended up placing third overall in the 4x100 meter finals. The outdoor track and field team would go from celebrating their record to celebrating their 16 seniors at the Yale Springtime Invitational. Quinnipiac had a stellar day of competition as 4 separate Bobcats placed in first in their individual events. Aisha Gay finished first in the 100 meter, Heather Feuchtenberger took first in the 800, Caliana Botello placed first at the high jump, and Mika Maples won the shot put.
With the regular season behind them, they now have the postseason to look ahead to. And the first up is the MAC Championships starting this weekend. The tournament is being hosted by Rider University and will be held at the Michael P. Brady Track and Field Complex in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, presented by visitnewjersey.org. All right, so MAC Championships. Then we have some more BCA awards.
The awards keep coming this time. It's now our final Bobcat Choice Award for the night for our 2021-2022 Game of the Year. And just by a slight margin, the men's basketball's MAC quarterfinal against Siena edges out the men's ice hockey team's Connecticut Ice Tournament game against UConn by 2%. Meanwhile, women's soccer penalty shootout win against Siena and women's ice hockey game against Clarkson tied at 21%. There have been so many memorable moments from Sports Paws over this year, but we managed to pick the best of them.
Yes, too many to count, and we don't even know which moments we are about to see since Clever told us it was a surprise, so I'll try not to shed a tear, but let's roll the reel.
And it was a big summer for some former Quinnipiac athletes as they gained some national attention. All that and much more Sports Paws starts right now.
As Sports Paws starts right now.
Sports Paws starts right now.
As Sports Paws starts right now.
And live from Studio 125, Sports Paws is on the air. I'm Jacob Resnick.
And I'm Joel Agrippa. We have a lot to get to tonight on our final episode of the semester. With no score so far, Wyatt Bongiovanni tries to pass towards the net, but it goes off a Union stick, and Desi Berghardt collects a loose puck and scores.
Here's Courtwright. He takes a three. Got it! Bobcats were on fire and would hit 17 three-pointers in this game. That is the second highest amount of threes hit in Ncaa Tournament history.
Bobcats answer back with Ella Grace taking a hop, rolling, and firing a shot to the back of the net. This puts the Bobcats in the lead with under a minute left in the game.
It's such a treat to be able to sit down with an athlete of a sport that isn't talked about a whole lot. Track, one of the best kept secrets here at Quinnipiac, and perhaps the most mentally taxing sport there is.
So I just focus on going out there, performing, doing my best the day of, and that's all we can ever ask of ourselves.
How can we be different? How can we outwork the other opponent? And that really comes down to it.
So tell me about December 13th, because I feel like that's a matchup that I feel like we're all, looking forward to.
Every game is going to be a great game, and I think, everyone's, gunning for Quinnipiac. That's it's a burden that we want.
While the doubters criticized from their seats, Quinnipiac men's basketball gave us a show here at the MAC tournament. The Bobcats came into the tournament as the 11th seed, but made it all the way to the MAC semifinals before losing to St. Peter's.
Though the pain of Saturday night's loss may linger for a few days, the Bobcats will have to regroup quickly as they begin their quest for a national championship next week.
For everyone in the studio and my co-host John Surratt, I'm Lil Yarnall. Have a great night.
For AJ Fernrohr, I'm Ross Meglin. Thank you for watching. Good night.
For Jacob Resnick, I'm Joel Agrippo. See you next year, Bobcats.
The emotions are running high, so Kai, what a better way to end the year off with some top 5. You can get us started off.
Absolutely, sounds great. I'll take the odds, you can take the evens. All right, top plays for the last time of the semester. Rugby on September 11th, play number 5, Cat Story drops multiple Dartmouth bodies on her way to score. We'll take another look right here in the slow-mo. We need to see this in slow motion right here. She's taking defenders left and right. This should be top play number 1, but I'll leave it as 5. But this is great. Dartmouth will take this victory, but Story will live on forever.
Well, we have another great play at number 4. It's Zoe Boyd who will send this puck across to Courtney Vorster for that slap shot tying goal. And look at that celebration, all of them huddling up together. But here we go again in slow-mo. What a beautiful shot, pure power, and Providence couldn't do anything. 2-2 overtime tie.
Play number 3, men's basketball, first game of the season versus Maryland. We all know this play. Matt Blanc steals the ball and soars to the rim for a gravity-defying hammer drop in this home slate. Maryland will take the win, though.
On to men's ice hockey for play number 2. Zach Metz is going to find Griffin Mandel. He can't get it, but guess who's right there? It's Desi Burgart who cleans it up, and he puts it past St. Lawrence. The celebration is on once again. It's one to remember, and the Bobcats win that 4-3.
Final play, field hockey versus Yale, tied up 2-2 in overtime. Stella Tickmeyer weaves her way through Yale defense, but great selfless pass to grad student Brooke Wimpke, who tucks the ball into ground right corner as she falls to ground, giving the Bobcats a 3-2 win. Look at the celebration, a great final victory.
And that does it for another fun-filled and action-packed year of Sports Paws.
Like I've said time and time again, it's been an awesome ride. Dylan, your ride still continues as EP, alongside now a former AP and now new EP of this show, Clever Strife. I know the show will be left in great hands. Sports Paws holds a special place in my heart, and I thank everyone who has had a hand in this show and has helped me along the way from time I was an AP till now being the EP. Major thank you to Sports Paws Squad, Dylan, Clever, Keith, and last but definitely not least to my girl Lo. We all made the show possible each and every Monday, and despite the weekly headaches, it brought us much joy to have done so. And just now that we have helped make this show what it is today. Now it's time for me to pass it on, but trust and believe I will be still watching. Until then, have a good night, Bobcats.